We're now in the 16-bit era of Mega Man. Finally, that took forever. Though we only have this game for the classic series and more, but that's going to be kind of interesting to talk about, as it's like the Mario Lost Levels of Mega Man. I really don't know how to cover it, as it's not in the Legacy Collection. We're not to have it, but given the reputation and some other things, like how it released and came out, it does make sense, but I don't know, I think it really should have been in the Legacy Collection, and the Legacy Collection does make a lot of sections easier with the autosave and such. So since we're here, let's look at what the game offers us. The game begins with a recap of last time and how Dr. Wily was put away. But he hit 4 robots, and after 6 moments with no contact, they will attack the city. And they did just that. So Mega Man, Roll, and newcomer Auto arrive to see what's going on. We run into Dr. Light knocked down and Wily starts to escape. We chase after him, run into Base who jumps us, but we fight back and he just wanted to test us. Then the boss from the intro cutscene comes in and he shrunk. I guess you could say he shaved the wrong bush. Wink wink, nudge nudge. Though it goes down very easily. That's one thing that we have now, is an intro stage and bosses like from the X games. It's a nice carryover from them, and it's nice for the classic series, and I wish the games would have more of this. Though this time we have 4 robot monsters to start the game off with: Burst Man, Cloud Man, Junk Man, and finally Freeze Man. I wonder where the other 4 have gone, but I suppose we might see them very soon. Let's talk about what's been carried over first and what's new in Mega Man 7. So we have our Lemon Pellets, of course, Charge Shot and Slide. We also have Rushback with Coil and Jet, and his new ability Search, which isn't really that useful. We also have the letters return this time, and when we collect them all we get the Rush Adapter, combining both from 6 into 1. And in this game it definitely makes the Wily levels way easier. But before that we have 4 robots to take out, and the stages are pretty fun and they fit the new style of Mega Man. I like Burstman's Rising Bubble gimmick, pretty fun, and also the boss himself is very fun. He is a fun challenge to go for first, and he kind of reminds me of a chess piece or Bart Simpson with his head. Cloudman is also pretty fun. I like his stage, and if you have Freeze Man's weapon, you can make it snow instead of rain, which is a little bit cool. It reminds me of the X series with the environment changes, and his weakness can be cheese like the next robot, Junkman. Junkman's stage is okay, we can find Rush here, and with his weakness he kind of goes down like Toadman from Mega Man 4. Our final robot master, Freeze Man. He has an ice gimmick, and I do like how you have to shoot these enemies to get the platform down. You can also take him on first, as there's an E-Tank around halfway through, and speaking of E-Tanks, we can only have 4 this time. We can buy them from Alder with other supplies. Freeze Man is very fun to fight, and when we beat him we go back to Dr. Light and he tells us what the weapons do. And then we head back again to Dr. Light and he tells us the robot museum is being attacked. So for the Robot Master Museum we have a remix of Gutsman with a little bit of Snake and Heatman's theme mixed in. Mainly Gutsman though. The other robot themes are more like cameos. And speaking of cameos, we get to see Snake Man, Blizzard Man, Flame Man, Pharaoh Man, Heat Man, Plant Man a few times, Skull Man, Ring Man, and finally Guts Man. That's a lot of robot masters. Wily must really like Guts Man. We fight this mini boss and we find out we have 4 other robot masters, which are Spring Man, Turbo Man, Shade Man, and finally Slash Man. I go for Springman first. He has a fun stage with these springs, and later on you can get Auto's Bolt, which gives us a discount and more items to use, like the energy balancer and the special tank, which refills everything. The fight is also kind of fun Buster only, though I kind of stand separating them this time around, as you know, you gotta find 8 and then find out which one's the weak one, so it does make sense, and I kind of do like the change a little bit. And after that it should be Shade Man, but I went for Turbo Man instead, because I kind of forgot the weakness order for a second. I don't know why I thought Springs could beat Turbo Man, but I don't get how they can beat Shade Man either, but boss orders. The Turbo Man stage doesn't really have much to say. I just really don't like the tire section, and the rest is just mini bosses and just platforming. Though the boss is pretty fun with the Mega Buster, but his flame attack really hits hard if you get caught in it. His driving car thing, where he's like turns into transform, is also pretty fun to dodge. So now we go for Shade Man, and he's either very tough or can be cheesed so easy like Clown Man from earlier. I do like his stage, and if you press B you get the Ghosts and Goblins theme. And before the boss we find Bass here, and it seems he got his ass beat by Shade Man. Earlier Mega Man asked Dr. Light what he thinks about Bass on the way to the museum, but we only saw him once, so. But since this is the 16th era, we have more cutscenes, but nothing too major until the end of the game, and they're doing the best they can with what they have. We take Bass back and go for Shade Man. He can also regenerate some health if he grabs you, but use Springman's weapon and he'll go down way easier. Finally, Slash Man, with one of my favourite designs, and the stage is also pretty fun. It takes a lot of Jurassic Park influence with the signs and the chase sequence later on. And in Clown Man's stage we can find Protomon, and he'll tell us to go and burn the bush in Slash Man's level, and if we do that we find Beat, but don't try and burn any bushes in real life please, thank you. And speaking of beaten, in this game, if you fall down, he'll just pick you up from a bottomless pit, and he has been heavily nerfed. Slashman himself is fine. He goes down with the freeze cracker. I do struggle dodging his attacks sometimes, but he is pretty fun to fight, but would be health bust only for me. But those who can do it are very talented Mega Man players. So we've beaten all the robot masters, and we get Slashman's weapon. We see Dr. Light, he tells us what it does, and then we come back like 2 seconds later and see that Base has destroyed the base. We find out that he works for Dr. Wily, and it's up to us to beat Wily one more time. Let's hope Mega Man still has some more rope up his sleeves to arrest him this time again. So the Wily stages are back again, and this time they're pretty fun. You can leave after each stage to go to Auto's shop and grab some more items. The OST that plays here is really good, but more on that later. We have this light out gimmick on these spinning platforms as soon as you touch them, and as the stage progresses it gets more difficult. Of course, that's a natural thing with Mega Man. The super adapter makes the stage 10 times more easier. We see Base again and we fight him. It's a bit like the tutorial, but he's way more aggressive this time and moves around a little. We leave him on 1 HP and continue onwards. We do a bit more stage. We see Gusman with an upgrade. He's weak to Slashman, which is a little funny as it swapped from Mega Man 1. Kind of like, you know, the rock paper scissors thing, but you get it, I think. He goes down pretty easy with his weakness and he shouldn't give us much trouble. The OST here is one of my favorites, and they really cooked with the OST this time, but the stage is kinda generic. We do a little bit of the stage and run to Base again. He shit talks us, calls trouble. They fuse together and have their own super adapter. He is pretty fun to fight and does copy a lot of our moves, but overall he's fine to deal with, honestly. Just don't take too much damage with him though. He'll bitch that we beat him and we'll continue on still. There's already the same to get to the other boss, though we have to wait a bit as the fight drags, as we can only hit him in the head when he shows it, and it has this really annoying flame attack. The sprite disappears when you get hit, and it does make some parts really annoying. I have to use the Mega Buster when this happens, so I have an idea of where I am. Though we do beat him and move on to Wily 3. Wily 3 has a similar section to Cloudman's level where you kind of have to guess where to land. The rest of the stage is taking out enemies or platforming, like in this bomb section, which leads us to 2 different sections. The top part you can cheese with Rush and get some items, and the bottom part is full of spikes and the mini boss from Burstman stage. The boss for this level I'm not very good at dodging. He is a bit of a pain for me with some attacks, though my patience isn't the best, so I normally just tank some hits and we're off to Wily 4. We do the boss rush yet again and we're off to one of the hardest bosses ever. Phase 1 is fine, just don't take too much damage. Watch his patterns and avoid little enemies that come in. They kind of look like Dr. Wily's mini-me's.
Except 1/8 your size.
Breathtaking. I shall call him Mini-Me.
But when he enters his capsule, make sure you have 40 tanks and the special tank, because he hits very hard and he doesn't take much damage at all. He'll disappear, return somewhere else and shoot out these energy balls that hate you. He'll always shoot out 4. He'll shoot out yellow, which just damages you a bit, blue, which freezes you, and red, which burns you, and will take out most of your health. He's weak to the freeze cracker or the wild coil. I use the freeze cracker as I find it easier to hit him with. With patience, waiting, and of course praying, we managed to beat him. So after we beat him, we see Dr. Wily begging for mercy again, but this time Mega Man snaps some friends to kill Dr. Wily. We see that the robots have laws here, as Wily mentions that being: do not injure humans or allow them to come to harm through inaction. Obey human orders unless it conflicts with the first law. Protect your own existence unless it conflicts with the first or second law. We see Mega Man kind of conflicting this by saying he's more than a robot. Base comes in and Mega Man leaves while the base burns in the background. I really like this ending sequence and more of the story elements here. I do hope they keep this up in future games, though the X series handles more of the story stuff and deeper themes and such. I do recommend this game. It's a little tough and rough in a few areas, like with the sprite going when you take damage and some level design choices here and there. I love how expressive this game is and the art style, and of course most importantly how Mega Man controls. This is the best with his movement, and it's a shame it's a one and done with this style. The music is very good, like the Wily stages, the end credits, Burst Man, Slash Man, the Ghosts and Goblins remake in the Shade Man stage, and the boss theme. There are so many more, but these are my favorites to listen to. It's just too many good tracks to mention. So that's the end of the video. Next we'll do Mega Man 8. We're nearly done with all the Mega Man games. I'll do 8, 9 and 10 together, and then 11 on its own. I'll move on to the X series after, and maybe some videos in between, like reviewing the Mega Man anime that came out, and maybe talk about Mega Man and Base. I don't know. But until next time guys, remember to comment, like and subscribe, spread the channel, do all the YouTube stuff, and I just want to thank you guys, and goodbye for now. Take care.